In today's lesson, we will be starting with net worth of an individual and a business. Before we get into net worth of a business, we need to figure out what a net worth is on a personal basis, so for an individual. As we have discussed in the previous lesson, when we were looking at how wealthy you were as a person, we were looking at your assets, which could also be known as your possessions or your belongings. I want you to take some time to think about what we could classify as an asset and what we could classify as our belonging or our possession. The first thing we could think of is possibly if we have a laptop. So we could classify that under electronics. The second thing we can think about is possibly if we have a jewelry, or we could have watches. Other assets that we talked about in class that we looked at when we looked at our personal wealth and how wealthy we were was we looked at our money in our savings account. We could also see how much money we maybe have in our purse. I want you to take some time now and write down some other possessions and belongings that a person could have. And don't just think about yourself, think about your parents. They have things such as cars and houses, so that would also be assets. So make sure you also write that down. We will go through that in our next lesson. So just to recap, assets are items of value that is owned by a person or a business. These items last for a long time, and what we mean by that is that their value lasts for a long time and that you would have them in your possession for a very long time, which means that when you buy a house, you'll have it for 20 or 30 years even, and that means you're going to have it for a very long time. Another thing about an asset is that a lot of the time people could sell these items to other people. And then these items are included in the calculation of worth. We're now going to look at how we calculate worth. And this is the statement that we use. You can see here it says Spare Shembe's Statement of Worth on the 1st of January 2019. So this statement, as you can see, has a green side and a yellow side. Now, if you cast your mind back to my classroom, you will see that I've got a green side of the wall and I've got a yellow side of the wall. And the most important thing about this is that you need to know that green equals yellow. So anything on the green side, the total of the green side equals the total of the yellow side. This is going to make a bit more sense when we fill this out. So let's do this together. The first task says Spare is a high school student. She would like to know how wealthy she is. And wealth can link with your worth. How wealthy you are is also the worth that you have. These items in her possession on the 1st of January. Casual clothes, 8,000 rand. School uniform, 3,800. Shoes, 2,900. Cell phone, 4,200. Jewelry, 2,600. Watch, 3,100. There's a book, or books, 1,900. She has cash in her wallet, which is 240 rand, and she has her savings account at the bank, which is 1,500 rand. As you can see, all of these are her assets. They have lasting value to her. So what you've got to do is you've got to fill in these assets where, on the green side, where it says assets or possessions. And what I want you to take note of is I want you to see here that wherever possible, you're going to group similar items together under the same label. So let's begin. Clothes, school uniform, and shoes could all be classified together under the heading called clothing. So the first thing you can do is you're going to do casual clothes, which was 8,000 rand, and you can cross it off, plus your school uniform, which is 3,800, and you can cross it off, plus your shoes, which was 2,900, and you can cross it off. And then what you're going to do is you are then going to find out what that total figure is. So you're going to put that in your calculator, and you're going to add it all up. So I'm going to give you some time to do that. Have you done it? Okay, so the answer is 14,700. That just means that there is a total clothing of 14,700. So the value of her clothing altogether is 14,700. I often get a question saying, do I have to include the rand value? And the answer there is no. Let's do the next one. Cell phone. Does she have any other electronics? No. So we can just write in cell phone and the value. And that is 4,200. And you can cross it out. The next one is jewelry and a watch. You can actually group that together under a heading called accessories. And the first is jewelry, which is 2,600, plus your watch, which is 3,100. And you can cross those two items out. Now you're going to take some time to add them together and find out what the total value of accessories is. Have you done it? Okay, I get a total of 5,700. So therefore, the total value of her accessories is 5,700. The next thing we're going to do is books. Now we know that this is an asset, hence why we're writing it down in assets. And we're going to say that that has a value of 1,900. And we can cross that out. The next two is cash and wallet and savings account. I'd like us to keep that separate, and the reason why will be given to you in a future lesson. So for now, just know that whenever we're dealing with cash in a wallet or a savings account, we keep them separate, and we literally write there cash in wallet 240 and savings account 1,500. Now the fun part comes, because now what we've got to do is we have to add up all of our assets to find out what our total assets are. So therefore, we're going to come along and we're going to say 4,700 plus 14,700 plus 4,200 plus 5,700 plus 1,900 plus 240 plus 1,500. I'm going to give you some time now to add that all together. Have you gotten it? What answer did you get? Did you get 28,240? Well done. That you fill as your total assets next to total assets. But now we still need to know how much is she worth, or how wealthy is she. So going back to what we said earlier about green equaling yellow, we can literally take that 28,200 and say that that is her total worth. And then what you do is you also fill it next to worth over here. Again, the reason why will be explained to you later on. Just know that that is how you fill it out. To fully develop this skill and to further understand, I'd like you to please do task 2 now and complete it for homework if you haven't finished it before our next lesson.